howdy, howdy, howdy. Look at me, I'm a cowboy. Is that... I haven't seen Toy Story for a while. But, people love when you open up your stream with quotes from everyone's favorite Toy Story character, Slinky Dog. So, okay, here we go. We've got two chats imminently open. Two chats actually open. Boom, pop out the chat. The Monday morning streams are kind of definitely, like the Friday morning streams, they're kind of a solidarity thing. It's like a lot of y'all are getting to work, and so am I. I've got a ton of correspondence I gotta handle. I've got a bunch of other stuff I need to do. And while I do it all, I've also got to be mining some trees real quick. So why don't we just quickly throw an ender pearl here. We've got this tree farm that I try to keep running, but I thought this would be close enough to my pinball machine that it would run all the time. And instead, it only runs when I stand over here. Because it turns out that this is slightly further away. Just like barely slightly further away than I thought it was. And so, yeah. We are going to be sending a bunch of people messages, planning for the week, getting my correspondence done, check in my email. But also, we're going to occasionally run through here and harvest all the logs. Right? So, like, now's a good time to harvest all the logs because I've been standing here for 10 minutes and a bunch of stuff has grown. So, we'll harvest all the logs. We'll wait for the, what do you call those? Bundles. Those bundles of saplings. We'll wait for the saplings to fall. Place some saplings, then handle some more emails. I just sent out a bunch of inquiries on my Discord. If you are one of the folks who's going to be hosting an upcoming parade float build contest, I sent a inquiry to everybody through mid-June. We have Blackwater hosting an upcoming Kentucky Derby themed parade. We have SCP hosting a Solstice theme parade. We've got the Gamers hosting a Pride parade. We've got the Earth Kingdom hosting an Earth Day parade. This upcoming weekend, we have Team Shiny hosting a Yuri's Night parade celebrating manned space flight. Although these days we call it personalized space flight. We got all sorts of going on. Coming soon. But I've got to coordinate with all those folks to make sure that those things are on the calendar and ready for announcement in today's newsletter. Because that Tommy boy is going to be handling the newsletter again. So, I'm going to actually start creating sign-ups for some of these parades. Activity sign-ups. TBD. Let's just drop things. Okay. You know what? Uh-oh. Nope. Juggling a lot of things here. Let's quickly lay our heads down and dream before Minecraft does it for us with death. Tricky says that's a lot of parades. Yeah, we usually host 12 parade float build contests a year, where there's different parade routes on my Patreon server, and different communities host different parades. Hosting 12 a year, you would think that comes out to one a month, but there are certain times of the year where there's just a bunch of holidays people are excited about, and this is one of those times. So, yeah, these are Minecraft parades. Okay. I know my elytra's almost dead. That's why I'm not flying. I'm tree farming. Woo! I've got 2 almost dead elytras. 28 and 15. But we're grabbing some branches or whatever these are called. Saplings. You know what? I think I'm going to plant that so we don't have to worry about it. 23 more saplings. That's good. Yeah, so the idea of the parade float build contest setup is that we had a 3-month build contest where people kind of built and decorated roads with outposts around them. And then the outposts were judged at the end of those 3 months. And depending on how well your outpost was judged, you got like first, second, third, fourth, all the way through 12th choice for which annual parade that you could host there. So, for example, several groups might all want to host the Halloween parade. So, first place would probably get the Halloween parade for the year, that sort of thing. And so the parade float build contests, though, in contrast, are not a 3-month build contest. They're 1-hour build contests where around that holiday, everybody has 1 hour to build a parade float on theme. And people are encouraged to pre-build the parade floats elsewhere. This is on a survival server, too. So, pre-build the parade float elsewhere to make sure you have enough materials, and then build it on site that day. Kind of like how in a real parade, you would have people like design the floats in a garage and bring them out that day. It's a pretty fun way to do it. We've had a lot of good times in the past, but yeah, I'm realizing this April through June, we've got like 5 or 6 of these crammed into like in maybe a 12-week period. So I'm trying to coordinate with the hosts of each parade to make sure that that's going to work out for them. So I sent those messages. Let's go ahead and get some more of these in here. So as we're farming the trees, we need to be replanting them to grow more. So we need a lot of birch for this project. You might not know. We're building a giant pinball machine, and those are traditionally made of, well, let's say birch. Yes. I think the white wood for a pinball machine is actually pine, now that I'm thinking about it, but realistically, we don't have, like, white pine wood in Minecraft. So, hey, welcome, Wyvern's Flight. Let's please not spam there. Person in YouTube, okay. Good morning, Ink Curious. Okay, so it still says setting up stream now because I remembered to explain what we're doing. That's important to setting up the stream. I didn't remember to mention that this is a viewer-supported stream. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. So like I said, this is a lot like the Friday morning streams. This is chilling. I'm drinking my coffee once it cools down. It's not cool enough yet, is it? Lone Courier says, Joe, I finally had paella. Awesome. I hope you enjoyed it. We were talking about paella on stream the other day, and I was like, oh, I don't think I've actually had chicken paella before. I've had, like, seafood paella, but it wasn't very authentic. But I had, like, a kind of authentic Spanish rice and chicken thing out camping, where they had, like, the hosts had brought, like, this big paella cooker, which is like this 3 concentric ring propane-based heater for a paella pan. It was wild. Yep, coffee stream. Yep, Monday morning streams are a little bit different from the other streams. We're not really trying to generate footage. We're kind of doing a little bit of slow farming here. We're harvesting some wood, then we're letting the plants grow back while I send emails. But on the plus side, if you're kind of into the behind-the-scenes, inside baseball stuff, like, oh, what are YouTubers doing? How does streaming, like, what does the business side of that look like? you know, I'm going to be talking, I'm not going to necessarily be reading the text of the emails to y'all, but like I'll be kind of addressing like, okay, okay, I've got to get back to this person about this. Okay, here are the points I'm going to make, you know, that sort of thing. So, but we need so much birch here. It isn't even funny. It's hilarious. Laugh, please. Paella is a type of Spanish rice. It's spelled Papa Alpha Echo Double Lima Alpha. Morning, Lakshmi 13. Glad to have you here this fine morning. Oh boy. Hey, Arax. I don't know if my weekend was exhausting but good. It was good but not restful. I cleaned my entire apartment, basically. I was gonna say top to bottom. I mean, I guess technically, like, I did relocate a lot of the mess into my bedroom rather than... So the entire thing hasn't been cleaned and organized, but the, like, living room and dining area were extensively tidied in advance of my parents coming over for my father's birthday. Everybody hung out here, and then we went out and got pizza. So I didn't have to worry about cooking at least, but yeah. Empcat Ligula says, the old jam it in the closet trick always works. Well, the thing is, part of what made the weekend stressful was Friday night. We had a big tornado producing storm roll through. Luckily, there weren't any tornadoes generated too close to Nashville, but we didn't know. They were like, this storm line's generated tornadoes all throughout the country as it's been sweeping across. You need to be ready. So Friday night was supposed to be my organizing the apartment night, but instead it was my pull everything out of the closet so we can put some couch cushions in there and possibly hide from the storm night. And so then Saturday morning when I started actually cleaning, I was actually way behind because the closet had been emptied into the living room and dining area. So, yay. But everybody had a good time. The apartment was clean enough, but definitely ate a lot of my weekend. I had some problems with replay mod, so I'm not happy with where I'm at on the video. Since Cleo's already got her side of the fight out, I recommend you watch Cleo's one, because once I miss the embargo deadline on stuff like this, I'm usually like, well, now let me see if I can really get it right. I had an excuse to rush before, but now that I've missed the embargo, I might as well do something I'll be proud of, you know? Let's see. So we've got some logs. I really need to clean my inventory here. I feel like we should go take the food to go cook. Jordan says, I love how your camera's just a slot in your hotbar. I never noticed that before. Oh, that's only the case at the very beginning of the stream. Once people start tipping, the camera expands every $20 tipping milestone we hit for the first little while. So, yeah. If anybody wants to ruin Jordan's hotbar camera viewing experience, we are $20 away from our first milestone, according to my abacus here. And tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay. Boy, what are we doing? We're going to cook that food, right? That was the plan? Yeah, let's throw the raw pork chops, the steaks, and the chickens all in there. That'll eventually cook. We're not in any rush on that. But hey, I did free up 3 slots. Also, uh-oh. Looks like we need to lay our heads down and dream here. That was not sleeping. Jordan says, I remember tipping you big when Zuchi rated you. We all pitched in. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a silly little thing, but it made the difference between being forced to have a day job or not. So, I mean, it's completely changed the trajectory of my artistic career. The silly little face camera expansions. People are like, why do you still do that? And it's like, I tried to become a self-employed artist basically since I graduated college. I tried a lot of different things, and this was the one that worked. So, okay, we're gonna also fix our elytra a little bit with a bit of good old-fashioned experience mining here. Okay, see? Got some elytra durability back there. That's nice to have. Should probably put that one in our offhand, too. Just get a little extra durability there. Yeah, we'll probably want torches inside of these, just for posterity and luminosity. Yes, Tommy, if you could handle the newsletter this week, that would be fantastic. I have started sending notes to people about the parade float build contests. But right now, the only one we have confirmed coming up is the one this weekend for Yuri's Night. Uh-oh. Did I swap my elytras? That's wild. That you can. That's a new 119 thing, huh? Okay, that's cool. So anyway, let's go ahead and put those blocks we just harvested back in here. But yeah, as always, Tommy, if you have any questions about what's going on this week, feel free to ask me here. So y'all will also get to see a little bit behind the scenes of how the newsletter gets written. Okay. Hey, speaking of tips, we got our first tip rolling in from Drew Baca, who says, let's start ruining that viewing experience. Referring, of course, to the viewing experience of seeing me down here in the hot bar. So, here we go. Howdy, y'all. Grow Hills here, expanding as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Dee-da-dee-da-dee, As you can see, the studio's still a mess, and I haven't found my tank top. I don't know what to do about that. And Ink Curious tips another 20, breaking me out of my hot bar on this Monday morning. Expand Joe. Do. It's hard to tell. This shirt is also green, but it's not like chroma green enough. I guess there's this one. I can wear this one like a scarf. This shirt doesn't fit me. I keep a few other shirts in the studio in case we have guests who want to be chromed out. This one's a little bit too small to actually wear, but I can just drape it over my shoulders like so. Yep, that's real professionalism there. Alrighty. So, Jordan says, one thing I didn't know you could do is hit F on any item in your inventory, it'll switch to your offhand. That was always the case as far back as I know. I've been doing that for months, if not years. So I don't think that's a recent change. We don't really want to be breaking too many of the leaves directly with the axe, because then we don't get the magic saplings we need. Morning, Emily. Glad you could join us. Okay. Let's see. Bear had a question regarding the Earth Day parade. Where's Bear's question about the Earth Day parade? Nope, that's not where I want to be. Sorry, Bear, I don't see your question. If you want to include how Mercy Road went, yeah, go ahead and do that. If you want to link the VOD from the Mercy Road segment I was in, that would be perfect. I'm assuming that there's a VOD for that segment. There might not be, because I don't know how VODs work on a 24-hour charity stream always. They might be more manual or a post-game thing. Boy, my brain is like... I'm still waking up. That's why we do these waking up solidarity like streams. No, Jimmy's not here. I mean, like, a lot of y'all are rolling into work on Monday morning, going through your inbox, figuring out what you got to do for the week. I'm doing the same. I'm just taking a few breaks to chop down trees in the middle of it. Okay, so let's go back to my email while we wait for some of these trees to grow. Wow, these trees are growing faster than I thought. Kina says I've been working for a few hours now, to be honest. Well, I hope you enjoy life in Iceland. I don't know where you would have been working for a few hours and not like if it was England, you'd have been at work for like most of the day, I feel like. Welcome, Triforce. I guess, though, some places start their shifts at 6 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. But a couple hours. You live in eastern end of Tennessee. Ah, that'll do it. Salamandercene says, I finished work in 1 hour, feeling the work almost over tiredness. I believe in you, Salamandercene. Is the warden head for when I helped Doc kill the wardens? Yes. Okay. My session is split over 3 VODs. I mean, I guess embed all 3? I don't know. Yeah, there was some internet problems. Check if... You know what? I think most of the internet hiccups, though, were before we actually started. So check maybe the 3rd one's the only one you need. Check if the 3rd one's the only one we need there. Because I feel like the internet cut out twice during him introducing us. So you don't necessarily need that. It's kind of nice to have, but it's not a must-have. Ah, enjoy your spring break there, Triforce. Okay. Jordan says the only work I currently do is the stock market. Ah, that's cool. Yeah, I recently sold a bunch of stock in order to help pay for immigration attorney. And, of course, I say a bunch of stock. For me, selling my 3 shares of Apple, I did also have to dump some stuff from my retirement fund. But the only actual individual shares of anything I held was I had 3 shares of Apple. And I sold them, and it immediately jumped by, like, $10. And I was like, well... I know you can't time the market, and $30 isn't that big of a deal, but it is kind of annoying because it was staying like right at 150 on average for a long, long time, and then I sell it and it jumps to 160, and I'm like, okay. Okay. It's fine. It's 3 shares. I bought it at like 120 something. So I came out ahead at least. I made more than if I'd kept it in the bank. Dang it, we need to use... Well, let's actually go back here and use the bed. But yeah, I wasn't like day trading or anything. I was just like, like, okay. My dad had, a few years back been like, hey, let's do a contest where we all buy like a few $100s worth of stock and see who does the best in like 3 months. And I was like, I don't have, like, one of my siblings got like really into it, was like constantly like, I sold this, I bought this, and like you had to report in the group chat like what you were selling and buying every day. And I was like, I bought 3 shares of Apple, I'm holding on to them. That's just like, I want to participate, but I don't have time to do anything. So I did not, my stock picks did not perform the best out of the whole groups. But you know what? That's okay. Got to hang out with family in a group chat. So yay. But yeah, then I just held on to it. I was like, I'll hold on to this until I'm either ready to buy a new computer or hit some sort of financial necessity. And boy, did I hit some kind of financial necessity. So... Okay. Thanks, Tommy, for sorting that out. Yeah, I trust your judgment. Have we filled all these already? Dang it. Wait, do one of those have... No. Okay. Okay, so let's maybe... We need to move these boxes too. Yeah, these ones are kind of sorted, but not very aggressively. That one's completely empty. Okay. That's our sediment one. That's some more stone. Emily says that vaguely reminds me of a stock market simulation we did for econ class. Except that our teacher didn't teach us how the stock market worked. And so then they were confused why everybody did so badly. Eventually we told the teacher that we hadn't been taught about stocks yet. And he was just like, well, still, you should already know how it works. Yay. That's a good teacher right there. Gives you the opportunity to fail with the expectation you should already know everything. Is stock trading something you would recommend? No. If you want to buy part of a company you believe in as a second way of saving money, I think that has a value. But like I don't know enough about day-to-day stock trading to make recommendations about it. That's, there's a lot of easy ways to lose too much money very quickly, is what it comes down to. So, if it's not something you already know about, it's not something I should be telling you to do, basically. Like I said, in my case, I bought 3 shares of Apple at like 120 something, and then just sat on them until they went up to 150 something and sold them. And that was just as a slightly, because part of it too is when you've got money sitting in your bank account, like it's easier to spend it, but if you have to liquidate your stock, you know, so it's like, okay, well, and maybe holding, now the risk is though that if that stock happens to crater at the same time you need the money, you're in trouble. But you know what, if you spent the money because it was in your bank account anyway, and you were like, oh, you know what, why don't I upgrade my flight on this vacation? I've got the cash. Then you don't have the money either way. So, I don't know. But basically, I was just like, I'm going to set this aside for something important, like buying a new computer. Or in the case I'm actually pulling it out is toward an immigration attorney for getting my fiance allowed to live in America and marry me. So, yeah, stocks are definitely there are risks involved, but there are risks involved with any way of holding money. And I am not equipped to recommend you do any of them at this time. But yeah, because I was like, even if Apple has a bad few years, like, they'll bounce back. You know, I wasn't stock trading for a job. Okay. So. Oh, why did I think it was nighttime? Oh, because it was just getting dark under that overhang. I'm very easily confused by changes in brightness in Minecraft. I'm like, what? Oh, it's getting slightly dark. It must be night. It was not slightly night, viewers. It was not slightly night at all. Yeah, I'm like a bird with a blanket over my cage. Exactly. The second I come in here and the light level drops, I'm like, uh-oh, time to go to bed. Like, B-Dubs has a finely tuned internal clock. I'm just very light sensitive. I'm like, bright light, or, what? Morning, Kansas City, Missouri Angel. Glad you could join us. Okay. Making some progress here. I don't care about that cobble enough to run down in there and get it. See, this is one of those like, oh, is it nighttime? Nope, I'm just under the thing. Alrighty, bye, Jordan. Have a good day. Please don't name drop brands here that I'm not getting paid for. You can grab whatever sort of breakfast you want. But if they're an international corporation and they're not getting paid to be promoted in my chat, that comment's getting removed. Have a good one. Hey, welcome, Hades. The pinball machine is going well. We have just been grabbing a bunch of birch and making some progress on this part of the machine here. Later on today, we're going to be heading over, after lunch, we're going to be heading over to Decked Out to do some work on snow terrain fixes there. But for right now, I'm just working on my own stuff. I'm going to put a torch or two here. Okay, it actually is nighttime now this time. So, gonna go lay our heads down and dream right there. Okay. It does feel really nice actually getting blocks on the ground on this machine here. Like this feels like progress. It'll feel better when we start putting the components in. And part of me is like, when I was originally thinking I'd do this, I was like, I'll be putting components in the whole way. But it kind of turned out that because I don't know exactly the layout of the playfield and some other stuff, I'm not 100% sure where certain things would go. There's certain things that are standard, but not everything. And so I'm kind of like, let's just get the machine in first. We're still working on the cabinet. We've been working on this pinball machine for a long time this season. But it's coming along. Okay. Oh yeah, this will be fine then because this one is all going to be up here. Yeah, so that dirt, that'll be there. Hey, howdy, Manty Gag. Glad you could join us this evening. Morning. Wow, that's how good I'm paying attention to the time of day. Glad you could join us regardless of the time of day, Manatee Gag. Oh, boy. Triforce says, I remember when this was all just leaves. Yeah, I know, right? We are making progress. False join the game. Howdy, False. Howdy, False. Do-do-do-do. Okay. I am a little disappointed. I picked up Susie Dent's book, Talk Like a Local, which was a guide to highly regionalized or highly localized British slang. And I was hoping... I misunderstood what the book was, okay? Because I saw Susie Dent talk about it on 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown. And I thought, when she's like, it's called Talk Like a Local, you know, so you can really sound like you're from this part of London or whatever. I thought it was going to be a pronunciation and accent book. Although I realize, because Susie Dent is a lexicographer, it being a collection of words from each of these regions makes way more sense than it being about accents, because she's not an accent expert. She's a lexicographer. Mahi Zero says, is this the top or the bottom of the plywood? The top. If we start boring into it, we're going to go 5 blocks down, I think. But you say, now that we're saying that, though, maybe not. Maybe it is the bottom. It's fine either way. It's fine either way. Whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. At this point, we've gone too far. If we have to do a second layer, we will. Whatever. Emily says, I've seen a similar book to that, except instead of British slang, it was Pittsburghese. Nice. But yeah, but I asked my fiance, I was like, oh, if I really wanted to have a British accent ready, like, if I wanted to prepare and practice one particular highly regional British accent, what would be the most unexpected? Because, like, if I practiced a received pronunciation, like BBC British accent, I feel like people would be kind of expecting that. Like, if somebody said, Joe, now that you're married to a British person, which I'm not yet, but this is a hypothetical in the future, we're still dealing with the immigration stuff. If somebody said, Joe, now that you're married to a British person, have you picked up a British accent at all? I was like, what would be the funniest thing for me to reply with? Now, a Cockney accent is far too expected, and received pronunciation is far too expected. Badger says, you literally didn't ask me this question before. I really thought I did, and I thought you said that me talking like stress would be the least expected. Did I not ask you this? You said, no, that's Cockney. I remember I talked to you about this book, and you said, it'll expose me as a fraud then, since my accent isn't particularly regional. And then you started talking about the Cockney bells. I really feel that was Cleo on Wednesday. I don't think that was Cleo, because I remember Badger talking about the bells being... You could hear them from where Badger lives. That wasn't on stream. No, it wasn't on stream. I didn't say this happened on stream. I said I had a conversation with my fiance. But I also asked Cleo. Okay. Drubaka says I also asked Cleo this. I might have. That tracks. Badger says I wouldn't have said stress, though, because she's too cockney. Okay, maybe it was Cleo that said stress. Badger says Birmingham Brummy. But I definitely remember talking to you about this. I'm sorry if I'm conflating two conversations here. The Frank Skinner... Okay, so he's got a Brummy accent. Christopher Yao says the best way to learn local accents is to start with local phrases, not necessarily slang. And Ozzy Osbourne. He's the reality TV guy, right? He used to be a musician back in the day or something. He wasn't as big over here, I don't think. Several people in my Discord are all typing ... Yeah, the Discord people are just typing dots, whereas the other chats are all typing in Black Sabbath, Black Sabbath, Black Sabbath. The Discord knows better than to even bother. They're just like, nope. Hey, we finally got Manatee Gag to commit to visiting Tennessee in order to come smack me. We've been trying to get Manatee Gag out here for a convention. Oh, no, never mind. Manatee Gag says NJ was booking a flight to Tennessee. Okay, well, we've had NJ here, but we really would love to see both of you. Personal Zombie says that's one way to get engagement. Yeah. Or one way to get thrown out of an engagement. He's the husband of the X Factor lady, says Tommy Boy. Okay. Christopher Yao says Ozzy does not have a Brummy accent. Okay, what kind of accent does he have? Emily W. says, I love when something elicits the several people are typing response in the group chat. Exactly. Just making sure everybody's awake here this Monday, fine Monday morning. Badger says, yes, he has a Brummy accent. Well, I don't know enough about Brummy accents or Aussie Australia birthright to be sure that I can't answer that either way. I cannot deliver a ruling on this. It's a bit more Americanized, but Brummy, says Badger. Some people are saying it's like a Brummy accent, but if a bat bit his tongue, or like a Brummy accent, but too drunk, or like a Brummy accent, but very mumbly. So people seem to agree it's in the general area of a Brummy accent. Born and raised in Birmingham, Osborne became a founding member of Black Sabbath in 1968. In Birmingham, that's where they love the governor. Ooh, ooh. Okay, so is that all of the birch we've already harvested? No, good. Let's maybe dump the sticks and the arrows for right now, and those. And that. What? I've got 52 of these saplings. Let's go plant the saplings, too. And people are also saying that you don't pronounce the H in Birmingham. So it's not Birmingham. It's Birmingham. Oh, that's one of those things I looked over and apparently, apparently my fiance also says it's pronounced Birmingham, not Birmingham. Gotcha. Do. Welcome, Way Forward. I'm doing well. I wonder what would be the easiest British accent for me to do. Like, which one would be the closest to how I already talk? Are there any British accents that are close to this if you go somewhere like Devonshire or something? Like, there's some, like, one random part of England where they happen to talk like this closely. Liverpool. Okay. I already have... Badger says you already do a terrible Liverpudlian accent. Like, or you're saying, like, what I'm talking like right now is a terrible Liverpudlian accent? Or if I'm like, my name is Ozzy Osbourne. I'm one of the original Beatles. Like, I don't... Wait, which one's the Liverpool accent? I don't... That's... How did it get worse? Says Patrick Spanner. Practice. Shropshire. What's a good... Yeah, I don't know if I can do a Liverpudlian accent. I feel like you're right that I used to be able to, but I don't remember what I would... So a lot of the accents that I would try and do, like, I would try to have, like, a thing I would say. Like, if I'm trying to do the Irish accent, like, there's, I should sound like a proper Dubliner. I should sound like a proper Dubliner. But, I don't remember what my Liverpool... thing was. And I don't know if I was trying to do a Liverpool accent. Joe, please try and say Worcester. There you go. Jimmy Carr has a skit on how to do a simple phrase to learn an accent. Let's toss that one and grab that. Yeah. Yeah, we're all gonna be in this experimental film and even... This reminds me of the gem stream where Pearl was trying to teach her how to do an Australian accent. Did not mean to fall in a hole. That's fine. Let's put some torches down here. Just not doing a good job of placing blocks today. Still waking up. Still waking up. Okay. Any confirmed plans for HHH? Well, I told people that I would be there for about an hour handing out tokens if people want to help with decked out, but I don't know if they're going to show up because they're the hermits and nobody ever knows what they're doing. My daughter was watching a Sea of Thieves video by one of the Empire's people, and the first like 10 minutes of the video is they're like logged into Sea of Thieves, and they're like, okay, we're gonna be playing some Sea of Thieves today with Grian and everybody else here. Grian should be logging in any minute. And then there's 10 minutes of them like, we can't find Grian. Not like Grian's playing hide and seek, but he was actually just asleep. And they had to wake him up so he could log in and play Sea of Thieves. They had to like call him on an actual phone. And it wasn't a bit. This is just how HermitCraft, this is how we live our lives. We are not reliable people. So people get mad at me sometimes. They're like, you said there was going to be HHH today, and there's nobody here except for you. And I'm like, I said I was hosting HHH if anyone wanted to show up. And then I'll get a message from, like, somebody 3 days later, like, oh, I didn't realize it was Monday a few days back. Sorry I missed you. It's like, okay. No worries. But nobody has RSVP'd, if that's what your question is. But nobody ever really does. I never have any idea what to expect, really. It's fine. Okay. So, where are we going here? We are... Okay, let's go get some more logs. I mean, when Grian logged in, he was doing his I just woke up voice very compellingly. I don't think he was lying about being asleep, because he definitely sounds a certain way when he's just woken up. But you know, I mean, we're entertainers. Maybe he was faking it. But I was watching it with my kid, and I was like, pretty sure Grian was actually asleep there. That's definitely not his I'm ready to work voice. That's his I lost track of time and fell asleep voice. Dang it, I fell in a hole. Let's maybe light some of this up, just as a treat. Oh boy, okay. Getting a lot done today. So supposed to be actually coordinating things while the trees grow, and instead I'm over here outside of render distance of the trees where they're not gonna grow. So in the short term, it's like I feel like I'm making progress, woo! But in the long term, I'm actually slowing things down by being over here digging instead of being over there where the trees would actually generate. So why don't we go back where the trees are? I'm gonna temporarily offload some of this other stuff. Okay. I'm going to also put my spare elytra in here. Let's save some inventory space. Okay. I'm going to go over here real quick. Yep, see, all these trees haven't regrown yet. So we're gonna stand here. And like I said, this is a Monday morning coffee stream. I'm supposed to be getting things locked down for the week. Okay, Tommy. Looks like... Oh, Tommy isn't... Tommy said he had to mute the stream because I was too funny. So, thanks, Tommy. I'm going to send Tommy a message on the newsletter work in progress at Tommy Boy. Confirmed Pride Parade build contest. (2 p.m. Central, Sunday, June 11th. Because Vin just got back to us, so I can go in the newsletter. Okay, and then we got a message here from Earth Kingdom. Magenta hasn't weighed in yet, so that's not confirmed yet. So let's go ahead and create a activity signups June 11th Pride Parade build contest. We do parade float build contests for a bunch of different holidays. 2 p.m. U.S. Central Time, June 11th. Pin that. Okay. Dante says, did Joe respond in yell caps? That's a timeout for not reading the rules, because you're supposed to not yell in all caps. Oh, whoops. Looks like I deleted the message. I didn't put the user in timeout. Now we, you know what? They went and screamed a second time though, so they're just gonna get banned. Yeah, don't break the rules twice. Okay. So that's sorted then. We've got the parades stuff is underway. Okay. Let's see. Other things we need to do. We have not gotten a response to one of these immigration inquiries, so I need to send one to a different firm. Let's see. What was the... Yeah, so... Do they have... Contact... Wow, this is the worst website. Full name, phone number, and email. Okay, so... Good afternoon, my name is Joe Hills. I'm a natural-born citizen living in Nashville. Okay. So this should probably be good morning. I'm also writing on behalf of my fiance. Lauren Colney. Okay. We'd like to be married here in Tennessee. The person who recommended us in particular was Amanda Gentry. Amanda J. Gentry recommended you specifically. We hope our case might be a good fit for your firm. Okay. Enter a valid email address. This field is required. How is that not a... Okay. Send. Thank you. Your submission has been received. Okay. So checking stuff off the list here while we grow trees. Getting my emails going. Send in inquiries to law firms because other law firms haven't responded and I'm getting really annoyed. It's like, you know, I went through all this trouble to pull enough money out of my retirement fund that we could at least make a down payment if somebody took our case. But, like, they're not even responding to my emails. And it's frustrating. I understand that this is an old school business and I should probably be calling these people. Okay. Hey, at least these people, their contact form sent an auto confirm. So Badger, I'm gonna send you a forward of their confirmation. So let's see. So the one that I sent 13 days ago and haven't gotten back from Axelrod Law. You know what? I'm gonna send a good morning. Good morning. I feel like sending a follow-up email when they never answered the first email is bad form. I feel like it's better to move to a different mode of communication. Like, I think I would need to phone them and be like, "Hi, I sent you an email 13 days ago and haven't heard back. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't caught in your spam filter." Because if I send them an email saying, "Hey, I wanted to make sure my first email wasn't caught in your spam filter," it might be caught in their spam filter, right? That's not probably the most viable way to handle this. Now that I didn't realize I could just leave this window open. It's not going well. But yeah, I can just leave this window open. Hold on. Now it's way easier to get in and out of there. Okay. The internet tech did fix things on Wednesday. Okay. So. These trees are still taking a while to grow. Wait, is that a creeper? It's 2 creepers and a zombie. Wow, this is really not a safe area to AFK on the ground. Glad we're up in these trees. Okay, so we're going to keep letting these trees grow in. Let's check on my other correspondence. Anything in the HermitCraft upcoming collabs correspondence? Nothing I need to worry about there. Check in on my Pathfinder game. Nothing to worry about there. A lot of correspondence in the morning. Cleo's computer is apparently broken, so I wouldn't expect Cleo at HHH today. Let's see what's going on in this other Discord. One of my friends planted new plants. We should leave a nice message about that. Looks much more vibrant and clean. Yep. Okay. Badger says, at exactly the same time you forwarded that email to me, I received one about a quote for moving I did a few months ago. Well, I'm glad to see that these firms will eventually get back to us. Okay. Alex Bernstein says, I know some churches have connections to legal advisors and they can actually get things done. Yeah. I've been talking to some people about, I'll get back to this. Real quick, thank you to Leslie for tipping 10, who says, hope you have a great week, Joe. Wait, did the abacus get reset? Yeah, we're 10 away from the next Face Gamer expansion milestone. Because we were 20 away, so now we're 10 away. Thank you very much, Leslie, for that. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay. So... let's see. I forget what the immigration court zones are called. They're districts, maybe? Districts. I think Nashville, one of the things I was talking to somebody about is when we were looking at hiring people, I think Memphis and Nashville might actually be in the same district, but I need to check that because I'm trying to immigration court district map, maybe? Like the jurisdictions. Enter your zip code in the keyword box below. Thanks, Department of Justice. Yep. Okay, so yeah, we're in the Memphis zone anyway. Because some of the attorneys we were looking at were out of Memphis, and so I was worried that would be a problem, them having to come to Nashville. But actually, no, we would have to go to Memphis because that's where the immigration court is for this part of Tennessee. Because apparently it serves like a broader geographical area. It's not like state-based, so it's not in the state capital. It's going to get like part of Mississippi, part of Arkansas, that sort of thing. And all the way up to Nashville in Tennessee. I think East Tennessee might have a different zone. But that is good. The attorney that I want most, who hasn't answered my email. Why do I need an attorney? I proposed to somebody who is a British citizen who said yes, but in order to actually get married, we have to file immigration paperwork. And it's way more complicated than I thought it was going to be, and I really need help with it. Okay. Still waiting to hear back from some people about the calendar stuff. If anybody in the chat is, if any of our viewers here are running one of the parade float build contests on our Patreon server, I sent messages to the folks with the, 5 next upcoming parades so we can get them locked down on the calendar. I put in proposed times and dates in your Outpost chat. So feel free to take a look at the Outpost chats and say yes or no on that. I was going to say, getting married is probably one of the best reasons to need an attorney. In terms of oh, this is a positive thing in my life I'm excited about. But I'm really just generally one of those people. I think a lot of immigration law and borders and restrictions are unhealthy for society. I think freedom of movement is an incredibly valuable thing for humanity, and I feel like this fixation on passports and immigration law is one of the worst things to come out of kind of the quote-unquote modern world. People should be allowed to go where they go. I don't know. I feel like we've made a lot of progress on a lot of things the last few centuries, but that's a place where we kind of gone backwards. Okay, the Earth Kingdom chat. Magenta's confirming April 23rd, 2 p.m. U.S. Central for the Earth Day Parade. So I'm going to message Tommy about that. At Tommy Boy. 2 p.m. Central. So I'm going to create the April 23rd Earth Day Parade. I should be putting these on my calendar too, actually. You know, I'll be honest, like, it is really valuable to have real world experience before you go into running your own business, even if your own business is an entertainment business, because like just accepting on some level that I'm gonna roll in on Monday morning and I'm gonna have, you know, my actual work to do, which is I want to build this pinball machine, but that I also have to contact like 15 different people about things and wait for their responses and get stuff on the calendar. I've just made peace with that. I'm just like, you know what? That's my Monday morning. I'm going to have my coffee. I'm going to maybe get a little bit of work done over here on the pinball machine. But realistically, I'm going to be opening the calendar. I'm going to be sending emails. I'm going to be, ooh, I haven't heard back from this guy in a while. I need to follow up with him about that. Oh, I haven't heard from so-and-so. Where are they on this thing? Oh, I need to send this along. Blah, blah, blah. Like, it's the sort of thing, like, yeah. I'm doing a lot of the same things I would have been doing in my old job, but in a much more enjoyable context. Okay. So, let's actually get these on my calendar. Delg says that sounds like my personal hell. I mean, when I was trying to do stuff, it was a lot worse, I'd say, at the old job. Because it wasn't stuff I cared about. Now I'm organizing fun Minecraft build contests for my Patreon patrons. And the immigration stuff is annoying. The immigration stuff is frustrating, but I'm like so excited about my fiance being able to live here in America instead of just visiting. Like that's life-changingly amazing. So, you know, on the whole. Okay, so 2 p.m. Earth Day build contest going on my calendar for the 23rd of April. June 11th Pride Parade float build contest. 2 p.m. Pride Parade float build contest. Okay. Doug says, I can see the positives, yes, but organizing things is one of the most difficult tasks for me. No, that's fair. And, realistically, this is the sort of thing that I probably will end up delegating in the long term. The big thing is, because I'm the one judging these parade float build contests and I've got my calendar in front of me, it's hard for me to delegate this stuff, because sometimes I might find out, like, oh, Mahi Zero says, I know it's only a week after the previous parade. I don't know if that's too much for folks. Well, the problem is we're gonna miss the holiday entirely if we push it. Mahi's. NJ says to Tommy or me. Well, I was gonna say the problem. It would probably end up being delegated to. I don't know, actually. In the context of community stuff, maybe it would be delegated to Tommy. But the problem is my calendar, a lot of times, there will be gaps in it, and I have to be the one that schedules stuff for myself, because as I'm looking at the calendar, I'll go, huh, it says I'm free that weekend, but that can't be right. Let me double check something. Whereas if you looked at my calendar, NJ, and you saw, oh, Joe's free that weekend, you'd go, huh, Joe's actually free that weekend. I guess that'll be a good weekend to schedule this. You wouldn't know, like, the, 15 places that I double check against. Like, oh, let me go through these school emails to make sure, or let me check at these extracurricular, like, you're not CC'd on a bunch of stuff from my kid's school that I would double check that stuff against, right? So it's hard for me to delegate that because you don't have access at that level to my correspondence. You know to ask for verification first. But my point is, at the point where I'm, like, double checking it anyway, it's not that much time saved versus me just doing it myself. So I'm not likely to delegate that stuff anytime soon. Echoing Clock rolling in with a big tip, doubling the total income of the stream. Woo! That was a solid 50, filling out the abacus here. We went from 50 to 100. So here we go. That's 3 face camera expansions incoming. Here we go. Expand Joe. Do. Numero dos. Even larger Joe. Da. Boy, this looks... This, putting this small green shirt over my shoulders has not gone well. But, luckily, it won't be there alone for long. Because like Jacob Marley, these chains I forged in life are about to begin pulling us down to the deep below. Enter the Joust. Bum, bum, bum. Where's the thing? Ba bum bum ba. Lowering the opacity now to 90%. At this point, each additional face camera expansion will be accompanied by a corresponding drop in opacity. Dee. Okay. So, I need to take this off before I hurt my neck, because this chair and this setup with it was not going well. Not the best combo. All right. But yes, thank you very much, Echoing Clock, for that incredibly kind tip. You are very, very deeply appreciated. Thank you for supporting the arts and my show in particular. Polaris Northstar, I hope you are well today. Tricky says, how did you and Badger meet? Well, Badger used to work for Asuma, who I've worked with on HermitCraft for a while, and kind of indirectly through that, kind of like a long chain of weird things, like me needing somebody to work on a song with the artist formerly known as Sean Hills, now Quinn Hills. If you go to the Good Place Road, if you check out the Good Place Road song, Badger sings the Eleanor part, which is an Old Town Road parody. If I search videos, I've actually got on my channel a version of it with the lyrics, but yeah. I worked really hard on this. I tried to do the lyrics karaoke style for this video, the same way they looked in the show The Good Place, where they start off green and they turn purple. I think they turn purple. Yeah. So, if you wanted to sing Good Place Road, Good Place karaoke style, you can. But yeah, we were kind of in the same orbits for a while, and then ended up starting to talk more, and eventually started dating. A little while after I got divorced, and then Badger started visiting Tennessee whenever possible, which unfortunately is not as often as I would like because of what do you call those, immigration laws and restrictions and things. Like I said, people should be able to go where they want, in my opinion. But yeah. Mr. Rabbitmole says, tell the story of your divorce. Wow, Mr. Rabbitmole, you're a really upbeat person. I'm really happy that you're here. Actually, no. That's actually not the vibe I'm going for today. I'm just going to straight up ban you. You know, because that's one of the benefits of running a show yourself. Like, if I had other people moderating the show, they might be like, well, that's kind of an awkward question. I don't really think that that guy's contributing, but like he's not directly breaking a rule. I'm just like, you know what, that guy doesn't belong here. He's gone. I'm done. I'm done. Vicky, somebody says, and then X didn't realize that you were engaged. Yeah, that's why it's extra funny to me that Asuma didn't put 2 and 2 together there. Morning, Eklogs. Glad to see you. Badger says, now that you're marrying someone, can you tell us in explicit detail about the worst breakup you've ever experienced? Oh yeah, that's great. You know, that doesn't shift the mood at all. Woo! Yeah. Yeah, COVID slowed down the passport process as well. I finally got my passport, which I was supposed to go to a wedding in Ireland as Badger's guest. In October of 2020, and I was starting to get my passport stuff together in like February of that year, I think, and then COVID hit, and then like the US basically said, we're not going to do passport processing for a while, and I'm like, great. Fool's Chat says, I've never been able to catch some of your streams, so I'm happy to be here. Yeah, this is a Monday morning kind of like admin stream. I'm mostly like occasionally checking my email and my messages and adding things to my calendar. And then in the meantime, I'm waiting for these trees to grow while I'm doing that. Then between messages and emails and stuff, I'm planting more trees and chopping down more trees. This is my like let's get ready for the week stream. Yeah. Good thing birch is so easily harvestable. Speaking of which, speaking of things that I need to get to, on the admin side of things, I think I need to send out a new Patreon invite. I do these in a batch. I don't normally do them on stream, but gmail.com. Let's see. Patreon. So, from Patreon. Nope, actually, no, maybe I'm caught up. Maybe I'm not, hold on. Because sometimes it'll say new patron, but it's actually, like, just somebody who their thing didn't go through 1 month, and, like, when they signed back up, like, if your credit card's out of date, and it tries to charge you, and then you get depatronized or whatever, and then you sign back up, sometimes it'll send me a message like, new $10 patron. And I'm like, awesome. Oh, it's this person. Well, that's fine. They're already here. But no, this is actually a new person. The other one's not. So here we go. Let's go ahead and send this person a thank you message and a link. Dun, 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 dun. So we're going to create an invite on Discord. One-time use. Generate link. Copy. We're going to open this nice thank you message with their name that I'm not going to say out loud because they might not want me to. So here we go. Putting the link in the right place. Since you're joining at the $10 a month level, you get to join the server. Awesome, that looks all good. Send. Okay, so that's that done. Actually, I also need to follow up with my custody attorney about something. I hope things are settling down. I hope things are going well with your new place. I just wanted to make sure this was still on your radar. Anything you need from me to move forward? Thanks. I've found the last few years, everything is nuts for everybody. With COVID and remote work and people getting sick and like all this stuff. So it feels like the last few times I reached out to my custody attorney, there was like, yeah, all of our paralegals have COVID and I'm trying to do 4 people's jobs and my hair is on fire. And it's like, okay, well, this isn't urgent, but it's just something that needs to get done. So it's like, okay, it's been a little while. Let me check back in, make sure. Because, like, I want to be... Actually, wait. Oh, we don't want to ruin Ollie's special tree here. I don't want to lack compassion and understanding when people are struggling these days. Because there's a lot going on for everybody. But I do need to remind them, like, you know, it's not reasonable for me to expect them to remember that I needed something weeks later if they've been dealing with all that. Like, it is on me to touch base and check in afterwards. What am I doing today? I'm making trees grow while I email a bunch of people about stuff. Neely says, I love when you share Badger's commentary. Well, when my fiance is telling me stuff during the stream, it's not like my fiance is texting me and I'm reading the texts. It's like Badger's just in a different chat than you because there's 3 chats going on. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to think. So, in terms of stuff that I've taken care of, I've emailed one law firm. I need to call the other one, I think, which I don't want to do on stream. You know what? I might... I think it's time for a hydration break, because we've been going for about 90 minutes. So, we're going to let some of these trees grow back in. And let's pull up the thanks spreadsheet here. See who we need to thank. I'm going to play one of our longer songs. The, What's Left of Sam McGee, based on the poem, The Cremation of Sam McGee, put to music. Where are we? Streams. April, insert column left. So let's see. Who requested Cremation of Sam, or What's Left of Sam McGee? Magenta, Avocado, and Kindless. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and thank Kindless in particular, because Kindless is here. So we're going to put on the longest song in our repertoire, What's Left of Sam McGee, and take a hydration break. Let me switch that text from setting up stream to hydration break, BRB. I don't know why those are way in the wrong place. There we go. Okay. So we're going to lock that layer. And yeah, so this song is about 8 minutes long. I'm going to see if I can get this law firm call knocked out, because there's a good chance it's just going to be me leaving a voicemail. But yeah, I'll be back in 8.5 minutes. Talk to you shortly.
There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have the secret sails that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen strange sights, but the strangest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labart. I cremated Sam McGee. Now Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows, while he left his home in the south to roam round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell, though he'd often say in his homely way that he'd sooner live in hell. On a Christmas day we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold through the Parker's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we closed and the lashes froze till sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and our dogs were fed and the stars o'erhead were dancing heel and toe, he turned to me and cat says he, I'll cash in this trip I guess, and if I do I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request. Well, it seemed so low that I couldn't say no. Then he says with a sort of moan, it's a cursed cold and it's got right hold till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. Yet tank being dead, it's my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that foul or fair you'll cremate my last remains. A pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. And we started on at the streak of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. Hey! There wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried horror driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh and it seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true and it's up to you to cremate those last remains. Now a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart how I curse that load. In the long, long night, by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows. Oh God, how I loathe the thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow. And on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to the hateful thing, and I hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice and I saw in a trice it was looked at my frozen chum. Then here said I with a sudden cry, is the crematorium. Some plates I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I hit the fuel high. The flames just soared, and the furnace roared. Such a blaze you seldom see. And I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And the greasy smoke and an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear. But the stars came out and they danced about here again. I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked and it's time I looked, and the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam looking cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile, you could see a mile, and he said, please close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have the secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen strange sights, but the strangest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge. I cremated Sam McGee. Who's the guy who conquers death? The mister with the whispers when Mumbo forgets. After introducing Pearl and Gem to say we're settling a continent. Shoulder to shoulder, surrounded by water, beyond which reset, risk your face if you wanna. We live close, we build close, we speak in proximity. Season 8's here today, still in its infancy. Mumbo is saying go, everyone's cheering, suddenly scattering, always unfearing. Though it passed by without Mumbo mentioning, there's a crew, you know who to keep you adventuring. Asuma securing villagers, Pearl on fine architecture, Joe grabbing supplies, ready to throw at the first fools who die. Bring on the creepers, bring on the flames. The resupply crew will get you going again. The very first to die, B-double-O, don't cry. Pops and quite chagrin, takes some apples and he flies. Zombie Cleo's next, needs an axe for the road. Geared up and cheered up, she's off with some lows. Gemini Tay appears slain by Jevin, but B-dubs is back before Joe loads the first chest in. Then Pearl's killed by Cleo, who Joe had armed previously. Then Cleo's dead too, per Isco mischievously. Impulse SV got blown up by a creeper, says he won't be back, but how can he be sure? Bring on the creepers, bring on the flames. The resupply crew will get you going again. The resupply crew. Asuma laddering a mine shaft. The resupply crew. Pearl egging a shell. The resupply crew. Joe lavaing a portal. Yo, you're immortal, here's a doorway to hell. Who's the once a guy who struck his first diamond, encircled suddenly by 3 of his friends, Tango, Corrales, and B-double-O, all armed and armored to shake down Joe. Threats making triplicate fully surrounded. Joe took to the sky with cobble unbounded, lava to dump on the brigands below, or on himself. This direction, let's go! Heading down to somewhere with coordinates in hand, bridging and a tunneling connecting flower forest land. Cleo is away, so Joe leaves her a saddle. He hopes as he does she won't use it for battle. Returning to world spawn and lighting his tunnel, he keeps striking lava and dies a whole bundle, and drowns hunting squids though he tried his best. But no worries, back at world spawn there's a resupply chest. Bring on the creepers, bring on the flames. The resupply crew will get you going again. One chest becomes 4 labeled in stock. The shell thickens yet with smooth sandstone block. Bushes are placed, ravines are filled in. Also the hermits can keep adventuring. If dying is losing, then living is winning. Episode's done, but the show's just beginning. Pick up some tools, some potatoes and steak, and show 'em you're real, give 'em season 8.
It's absurdity in RPG font. Tycho Brahe's behind creased cardboard, but you don't pull up chairs for humor, do you? You shouldn't miss this guy Cthulhu. He shakes a stone, there's light eldritch compelling you, the viewers, to hit the merch store. 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 Walnut's Grove is gone, which sucks for a druid. Plus mail is strong, but nuts wise into it. Sigils on the cave wall stabbed like daggers. She took wolf form and she howled aloud. She bit at Cthulhu and she snapped her snout. And by her instincts led you to the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Roses she's shopped there before. All her grandkids get gifts from the store. Little halflings with their kingpins playing footloose. I've seen them picnic beneath the stars, wearing their bright dark magic scarves. It's a one-stop shop for birthdays at the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store.
Denard's a paladin, dragonborn, who treats everybody else with scorn. But you know that they all deserve it, don't you? He gains entitlement from bits, or so Jerry claims, so I guess it fits. And they both expect you all to hit the merch store.
Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Maybe there are gods beyond whose tendrils shift their waking pawns, but Jerry kinda seems like he has got this. Except the times when the phones light up and ideas arise, then outright erupt, and Jerry's gone, volcanic curse it Rothfuss. What now, Rothfuss? Come on, Rothfuss. Ignore Rothfuss. Gosh darn Rothfuss. Dang it, Rothfuss. My game, Rothfuss. Go home, Rothfuss.
Shut
up,
up,
Rothfuss. Flippin' Rothfuss. Let's not do this. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store.
Yeah, you're gonna take my course just to save your soul. We're gonna try to get ethical. You're gonna take my course just to save your soul. We're gonna try to get ethical.
I've got the treatises by Kant, anything I want. Janet brought the chalk, are you listening or not? Writing on the board, your morals are quite poor. We deserve the good place, you just gotta pass this course now. My tumor feels kind of crummy, you should probably study. Tummy feels kind of crummy, you should probably study. Writing up my treatise, drinking almond sweets. Think I love my soulmate, she loves margaritas. My life is a quandary, we should do her laundry. We've got some camaraderie, unlike Jason and Tahani. Tummy feels kind of crummy, you should probably study. Tummy feels kind of crummy, you should probably study.
Yeah, you're gonna take my course just to save your soul. We're gonna try to get ethical. You're gonna take my course just to save your soul. We're gonna try to get ethical.
I like shrimp fly, motherfucking shirt ball. Spend my whole life living like a bad janitor. What Judy's gotta have a teleology and cook a god. Writing down Plato in my nightmarish clown. Hurt I can't kiss that I'm truly bad. He can kiss my ass, I'm a full trash bag. Hope I can ace this course and save my soul. I'm gonna try to get ethical.
Yeah, you're gonna take my course just to save your soul. We're gonna try to get ethical. You're gonna take my course just to save your soul. We're gonna try to get ethical.
All right, we are back from that hydration break. Woo! Okay, so I just spent $400. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hill as a YouTube super chat. Okay, yeah. So we got a consultation with with a highly recommended immigration attorney. Had to pay some up front, but that we knew was going to be that's part of why I pulled that money out of my retirement fund, because I knew that they were gonna say you gotta get that you gotta pay for consultation up front and blah blah blah. So I'm hoping the actual case is a manageable expense. But hey, I've got more I can pull out of the retirement fund if I have to. I'm tired of my fiance not being allowed to live in America, and if I have to, like, I feel like I worked hard for the first 10 years of my career to save that money so I could have a better future. And yeah, I'm going to pay a tax penalty for pulling it out now. But if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I'm tired of this stupid immigration system nonsense. So, yes. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Speaking of which, we just got a tip from Personal Zombie who says immigration progress, yay, and tips 5. That puts us now 17 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. So thank you very much to Personal Zombie. Okay. Boy. So, we actually have a consultation scheduled for a couple weeks from now, which is more progress than we've had otherwise. Like, I'm very excited about that. So yeah, sorry I was on the phone for a while, but I had to answer a bunch of preliminary questions and make the payment. There was a question from Wheezy of Oz who says, did someone turn a Jewish meditation on faith, love, and life into a song about getting money out of people? Well, it's a song... Well, okay. There's a few things in that question that are interesting. Leonard Cohen technically was Jewish by descent, but personally was a ordained Buddhist monk. And so while his writing was definitely informed by his Jewish roots, I don't know that you would argue that that was more of a Jewish song than a Buddhist song, even though it's technically some of the subject matter is from, David is obviously the most famous Jewish king, king of Judea, more famous even than Solomon, some would say. But I'm not sure that I would consider making a parody of that song in any way an assault on Judaism. There's a comment here that seems kind of anti-Semitic. I don't think that writing a parody of Alleluia about a D&D group that sells their own merch is in any way an attack on Judaism. I wrote that parody myself, and I definitely didn't intend it that way, and I try to be pretty sensitive to other people's cultures, but it's impossible to nail that 100% of the time, because if it's somebody else's culture, you don't know where you're going to make a mistake. I really don't feel like that's the case here. And if I'm way out of line on that, I'm way out of line on that, and we'll need to sort that, but that's not the sort of concern that I would take lightly, and I'm not trying to take it lightly now. But if people have a serious problem with it, we can revisit whether, pull that out of the rotation, whether that's appropriate. But I'm, Wheezy of Oz says, I want to make it clear, I don't think you're personally out to attack people. Well, no, I'm not, yeah, but the thing is, with cultural insensitivity, you can be culturally insensitive by lacking understanding and context, even without malintent. Okay, I don't know what people are responding in the Discord with GIFs that I don't know the meaning of. And other people are confirming it with this TBH. Okay, I do not know what that means. Does that mean I'm definitely in the wrong here? Does that mean I don't... Okay, more people are this TBHing it. Okay. Please use your words. I don't know what that... It's an eye roll. Oh, I have to click on it to play it. That's not... No, an eye roll goes up. Moving eyes left and right. Do they call that an eye roll in other parts of the world? Purple Gallium says it didn't seem anti-Semitic to me, and I am Jewish. Sarah Pie says same. Dory says, I know you don't intend to hurt others. You try hard not to be a jerk, but it's a fair point to consider. That's why I'm considering it. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't think that I'm out of line here, but if I am, I need y'all to tell me, like, because that this is me considering it as a potential fair point. Okay, now people are... Okay, I can't understand these... Okay, you guys can use the GIFs to express things among yourselves on the Discord, but if you're trying to tell me something, I'm not going to know what it means. I just know that's a guy from The Simpsons. But, like, I have to, like, click through... So to avoid the GIFs, like, distracting me when I'm playing, they're paused. So it's just, like, a still frame of the guy from The Simpsons with his mouth open and his eyes closed. And I don't know what that means. And the problem is, too, I know if I click on it, I'm not going to understand it any better. It's another eye roll. Okay. Okay, so the people in the chat are assuming that the Discord GIFs are targeted at them, but I'm assuming they're targeted at me. I think they're saying that I'm screwing this up, but because they're not. So I think that the YouTube chat is jumping to conclusions here about... I think the Discord chat is criticizing my handling of the situation, not criticizing someone bringing this up. Okay. Sarah Pie in the Twitch chat says, I think you're acting reasonably and politely. Yeah, because if I'm wrong, I need to talk through it to understand, like, here's why I think I'm okay, but if I'm still wrong, please correct me, right? I'm not trying to argue that other people are wrong. I'm trying to understand why I'm potentially wrong. Okay. But anyway, Mini Cheese Mouse, Tippin9, says, congrats on dealing with the bureauctopus wrangling. I think that's a portmanteau of bureaucracy and octopus, which I have not seen before. That's going to put us 6 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. But yeah, it definitely was an intention when writing the parody to pick a song about, like, to pick a beautiful song and make it about crass commercialism. Because that's kind of the tone of the entire series, the D&D game that the thing is about. It's like, we've got the most just incredibly creative, talented people sharing a beautiful part of their friendship, like, while trying to sell merch for their adventuring party. Hey, I'm Lavis, glad to have you. So yeah, like, I mean, there was a lot of intentionality in my writing there. Okay. But looks like I'm not seeing additional concern from people on this, so I think we're in the clear. Poison Hugh says, Joe, glad you're streaming. I'm sick, so it's nice having a chill stream while sitting in bed. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you're not well, Poison Hughes. But I hope that you recover quickly. Enjoy getting some rest, please. And I'm glad that we can keep you company a little. Yeah, we're talking about hit the merch store. Matthew Levis. Inbox here. Okay. Got a confirmation about the consultation. Gonna forward that to my fiance. Forward. Send. Okay. Sometimes you just have to make a phone call. You can send emails and they'll get ignored, but sometimes you just got to get on the phone. Bedmod, I think, has been updated. I just haven't had the chance to do it. Yeah, there's candelabras behind me. I moved them here for the charity stream the other day and haven't had the chance. M. Lavis, thank you for tipping 20 users. Gotta get that merch. Woo! So, boom, that is gonna get us 6 gets you to 1 face camera expansion, and then we are 14 past that. So here we go. It's time to expand. Just do. Lowering the Joe opacity now to 80%. Alrighty. We did borrow some sponges, Mini Cheese Mouse. We've made a lot of progress. We've chopped down a lot of trees so far this stream, so we're going to get those out of our inventory and into the machine here. The birch. I probably should have picked some lyrics before I started singing. Because I was going to say the birch, the pine, and then I was like, there's no pine in Minecraft. And I'm like, the birch, the mine. What mine's with? Because it's the bass, the vibe, the mic, the treble. I like my coffee black just like my metal. So the birch, the pine, the birch, the mine, I don't know. I'll have to keep working on this one. Tommy says, do we have an upcoming stream schedule? No. Things are kind of chaotic here in Nashville right now. And so I do not want to overcommit because, yeah. And also things are chaotic with Cleo's computer just going into the shop. So I don't even know if we're going to have crafts with Cleo this week. Cleo's computer might not be fixed in time. Like, so, yeah. It's not like when we don't post a stream schedule, it's because I want to, like, I'm like, haha, you guys will have to find out. It's a surprise. It's like, I'm just like, I don't know either, you guys. I'm so sorry. It's fine. But it isn't. No, I am just as deeply disconcerted by my lack of ability to commit to a stream schedule as y'all are. Hit the birch store would have worked. Oh, that's smart. Yeah, the thing is, we need so much birch for this machine, we would wipe out Corrales' ability to do any building. He would just be having to hang out at his farm. Whereas, like, if I'm just over there, like, oh, hey, let me let these trees grow in while I call attorneys' offices. It's like, I'm getting my Monday morning stuff done. I'm doing all my follow-ups, get my emails out. Let's see if we got any other responses from the outposts about Patreon parades. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, unfortunately, the streams will happen when they happen. I keep thinking, like, things will calm down eventually. Like, it's not that I'm unorganized. It's that life is too unpredictable for me to not. I feel like I'm a liar if I tell you I'm going to stream and then something comes up. Whereas if I'm like, I'm expecting random stuff to come up this week, but I'm not sure when, right? And I just don't post a stream schedule, I feel like that's, I'm just living my truth. My truth is I don't know. So I'm not going to pretend I do. Okay. How are we for time? It's 10:39 right now. Ooh, actually, speaking of things going on, there was supposed to be a walkout of Nashville schools. I'm assuming that my kid's elementary school didn't walk out. But let's check the news just in case. But yeah, the high schools basically said, "Hey, we're running a high school here. You're not allowed to just walk out in the middle of class as a protest." And the students were like, "That's what a protest is, you dummies." And so one of the high schools, McGavick High in Nashville, was like, "You know what? If you're going to walk out of class anyway to go march on the Capitol, maybe just don't come into school that day. Because if we have hundreds of students walk out in the middle of the day, it's a huge security nightmare for us." And, yeah. Meanwhile, the elementary school principal sent out an email encouraging, if your kids want to be involved, there's an elementary school parent and child meetup at the Capitol at 4 p.m. today. Maybe don't have them walk out in the middle of class. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. So let's see. According to Twitter, between 700 and 1,000 high school students have just arrived at the Capitol. I'll post a link to that. Kindless, it's not urgent. Grit's probably at work. Oh, that's a live stream. That's not a or that might be a video. That's a video. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna retweet these as well so people can find them on my Twitter account, so I'm not just spamming this. One newspaper editor or website editor, news website editor, is complaining about Matt Murphy, a conservative talk radio host, posting a photo from 30 minutes before the rally began. The rally, like, basically was, the students were supposed to walk out at 10:31, which is 12 minutes ago, and march on the Capitol. And somebody, a talk radio host, posted a photo from 30 minutes ago, which is like 20 minutes before the students were supposed to walk out of class, going like, "Oh, look how few people are here. Clearly no one cares. If you see pictures that say a lot of people were here, it's a lie." It's like, yeah, a lot of people weren't there before it started. That's the point of a walkout is to have a coordinated walkout at a certain time. If you go photograph where they're going 20 minutes beforehand, of course it's empty. At what point would you consider using TNT to clear stuff out? Oh, Jevin came by with some TNT the other day, but it's a lot calmer doing it this way. So we'll keep an eye on that. Hey, we got another tip rolling in. Let's see who it's from. Wheezy of Oz, thank you for tipping 20. That is going to get us 14 past our next face camera expansion milestone. So here we go. It's time to expand. Joe. Lowering the opacity now to 70%. Wheezy of Oz says, thanks for answering my question in the spirit in which it was intended. Sorry for adding the stress. No worries, Wheezy. I don't mind being called out for stuff, because sometimes I'm wrong. Deadbrain says, Big Joe. Don't worry, the camera gets larger. We are only $6 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. Manty Gag says, that's like when wrestling fans post pictures before the start of a show and claim the promotion is dying before the match has even started. Hey, Muscle Bob. Glad you could join us. Okay. So, keeping an eye on the Nashville list of Twitter tweeters to see what is going on. Crowd continues to grow as students are making their way to the Capitol. Because, yeah, different high schools are different distances from the Capitol, too. So, like, realistically, the people that are a mile and a half away are going to take 30 minutes to reach the Capitol if they walked out at 10:31, right? They're not even halfway there yet if they're a mile and a half away. Good night, Cha-Cha. Okay. I don't know why I'm mining this part. What I should be working on is the parts that we can put birch on most urgently. Birch-gently. Lay your head down, dream, Cha-Cha. Do. Welcome, AOF Walsh. Glad you could join us. We're just here repairing our elytra by smacking coal. Boom, look at that, up to 90 durability. We're not picking up the coal very well, though. Throw this sunflower on the ground. Okay. Cha-cha real smooth. Into bed. Nice. Free inventory slot if I put my totem back where it goes. Good point. Thank you, Alex. Have I played with Chat GTP yet? Not really, no. The problem is, like, you have to use, like, Microsoft Edge if you want to use the Bing one. And I was looking at the Google one, and I was like, you know, I don't want to get my Google account suspended for some sort of stupid terms of service file. Like, the restrictions on, like, what you may or may not ask are like, well, that's all they're like, if you try to tamper with this, you know, that's a violation of Google's terms of service. You could lose your Google account. I'm like, I don't want. The whole point of it is to tamper with it. So, basically, no, I can't. It's too much work. You can just do OpenAI incognito. Don't you? Oh, you don't need an account for that one? I thought you had to use Edge to see the Bing one. I thought they were trying to make people use, like, and possibly Windows 11. I don't know. You can use it directly at OpenAI. Oh, okay. Well, I haven't really messed with it. Oh, you have to... Okay, but you have to provide them an email address. So you do have to sign up. I don't want... I really can't be bothered with signing up for things at this point. I'm tired. Oh, boy. Like, I don't really... The problem is I don't need it for anything. I can't just... Like, it's one of those things, like, I've got so much stuff I'm behind on that, like, I want to do. Right? Like, I want to sit down and read my Asimovs and my analog, and... Oh, there's a new Brandon Sanderson novel, and I want to watch 14 series of Taskmaster, and, like, so if it's just for fun, I've got, like, way more just for fun things, ahead of me, right? Like, I'm backlogged on stuff for fun, and I don't really want to use it for anything work-related because of, the intellectual property law element. Stream's going really well, Stephanie. I hired an immigration attorney for a consult. I've sent a lot of important emails. This is the Monday morning coffee stream where I'm like, just like, okay guys, I'm gonna play some music while I call an attorney and try to get on their calendar. Here's 13 minutes worth of my music. But hey, we got the consult scheduled for the immigration attorney for 2 weeks out, which is further away than I would like. But yeah. Considering that I emailed them 2 weeks ago and they didn't get back to me, calling them on the phone today, or calling the office on the phone today was definitely worthwhile. So yeah, this is a getting stuff done stream. We're occasionally playing video games, but I'm mostly like checking my correspondence, sending out Patreon invites, that sort of stuff. Kara says, I found it useful to make the search engine return the results I want with ChatGPT. So I've actually kind of stopped using search engines as much. So I noticed since I started using a VPN, every time I tried to Google something, Google's really trying to get people to switch to the Google VPN, which I don't trust. And so every time I tried to search for anything with my VPN on, it would be like, are you sure you're not a bot because you're on a VPN? Can you identify which of these things are crosswalks? And so I just started visiting websites directly. I'm just like, because 90% of the time I generally know what I'm looking for. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go directly to Wikipedia. And I'll use Wikipedia's search rather than a search engine. Or, you know, I need to look this programming thing up. I'll just pull up the actual documentation because I know where that is. I'll just pull up the actual documentation and search for it inside the documentation. Like, so, yeah. It's funny, but yeah, no, I actually kind of stopped using search engines much a few weeks ago because of a fluke of the VPN thing. M. Lavis says, I click on insurance advertising repeatedly. I heard they have to pay $50 per click. Yeah, I believe that. Well, the thing is, though, if they think that you're abusing the, if they think you're abusing the ad system, they can suspend your Google account. And my Google account is linked to my YouTube account. So, as fun as it would be for me to mess with Google in that way, I feel like the stakes are too high for me to enjoy doing that. But yeah, and I mean also because of AI generated content in general now, I'm kind of less likely to trust search engines sending me to sites I don't recognize. I'm just like realizing, oh, I'm better off just going to sites that I trust and seeing what they say directly. I don't want Google to tell me where to find this because I don't trust Google to know the difference between a trustworthy site or not anymore. Have I tried using DuckDuckGo? Like I said, I haven't really. There's not like a huge search engine shaped hole in my life now that I'm not really using them. Okay, coffee. Oh boy. Bum 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 bum. Okay, so in theory, we could come and knock this part out entirely here. We're really close to being able to move these, what do you call them, around? The, pyramid ziggurat things. Okay. So, this is not the fortune shovel, right? Great, okay. Oh, that actually needs to be lower anyway, doesn't it? Huh, okay. Good note. Okay. So I thought we were closer to the surface here. What are we... Oh, it's only one... I was like, how is this not hitting the surface? But yeah, we were like 1 or 2 blocks too shallow or too deep. Morning, Coyote Lovely. Glad you could join us this fine day. We are hanging out here on the HermitCraft server doing some digging. Okay. Boy, I really need to offload a ton of this birch. Let's just keep placing blocks, I guess. Stephanie Hall says, my kid says he likes the chandelier behind you. So fancy. Oh, it's actually it's a candelabra. It looks like it's hanging from the sky because the chair is blocking it. But there's actually a post. You can see. Whoop, post. So it's actually a freestanding. We've got 2 of them in here. 2 freestanding candelabras. Because, yeah, a chandelier hangs from the ceiling. Candelabra sits on something. In this case, the ground. Okay, so we're going to toss this. Coyote Lovely says, believe me, I'm glad to join too. I miss the chill. Well, with winter passing, that makes sense. But you know what? The warmth of spring is its own embrace. So that's nice. We got that going for us. No, the candelabra that Badger got me for Christmas is for tables. This is a different one. I have more than one candelabra. Okay. Tommy says, here's the newsletter outline. Mercy Road 4 plus VODs. Quarterly meeting reminder. DS9 parades. Everstorm. Resets this Thursday, the 6th of April. Pinball results. Upcoming convention. Streams or videos. Farewell. Yep, that seems good to me, Tommy. Do I have enough candelabra you could be considered a collector? No. No, because a collector actually, like, curates. There's intentionality. There's a difference between having a bunch of something and collecting them, right? Like, I've got a bunch of forks because sometimes I have a large family and sometimes we have a lot of people over. I have more forks than I have candelabras, but I'm not a fork collector. I just happen to need that many forks, right? That's kind of how I am. I would argue I don't have as many candelabra as I actually need. But, like, collecting things is when you have more than you need, rather than that sort of thing. Do I know of anyone with more candelabras than you? Not offhand. No, I can't name a single person I know with more candelabras than me. And now that you're saying that, that does make it feel like maybe I have too many. But I don't think that's the case. Do I have more forks than knives? That's how you can tell if someone's a fork collector. No, because... So the knives, I've got enough normal knives, like dinner knives, but I've also got steak knives. Plus I've got kitchen prep knives. So, but I'm not a knife collector either. That's just like how things shook out, right? So meanwhile, let's go double check on the Nashville Twitter list. See how things are going out in Legislative Plaza. Parents are lining up at Hillsborough High to sign out and drive their teens themselves. Oh, interesting. They're not marching because I guess it's too far from Hillsborough High. I assumed they would take the bus because there's a bus stop right outside Hillsborough High that runs downtown, like where Legislative Plaza is. I figured the teens would walk out and take the bus. That's interesting. Parents are actually driving them. So yeah, it looks like a lot of students, but they're not all there yet because, once again, given the distance from Legislative Plaza to the different high schools that are walking out, it's people are converging from all over the city, it looks like. Am I a hair collector? I seem to have a lot of hair, says Danny W. Yeah, that's the thing, though, is like I feel like certain things accumulate. There's a difference between an accumulation of forks and a collection of forks. I have an accumulation of candelabra. I don't have a collection. I have an accumulation of hair. Not a collection of hair. My hair just keeps growing and it accumulates. I'm not like going out of my way to pick new hairs to put on my head. Husky says, afternoon from Oregon. My cousin is visiting Nashville soon. Any recommendations on places to visit? It depends on what your cousin likes. If your cousin likes pinball, we have a great pinball dive bar called No Quarter in East Nashville. If your cousin likes Greek architecture, we have a scale model, 1-to-1 scale model of the Parthenon over in Centennial Park on West End. If your cousin likes Johnny Cash, there's a Johnny Cash museum. There's the Museum of African American Music. We've also got a lot of ice rinks, if your cousin likes ice skating. We've got a ice hockey arena downtown that the Nashville Predators play at. If you want to see some ice hockey, or your cousin does. It's hard to dig when you can't see where you're going. There we go. Much better. I was like, I feel like we're going to punch through to the sky eventually here. Johnny Cash Museum sounds awesome. Thanks. You're welcome. Okay. Okay. Hack the Gibson says, no quarter. Isn't that a misleading name? Don't you need quarters to play? Nope. The machines are set up for tokens, which you can get at the bar. You can either buy a bunch of tokens for $5, or you can get tokens included with every drink you order too. Hey, Jerome says, addition for your collection fund. Thank you very much for the 10 there. That's gonna get us. Let's see. Oh, we were 6 away from the next face camera expansion. Now we're 4 past. So here we go. It's time to expand Joost. Uh-oh, that's Minecraft. Let's not move Minecraft. Oh, no. What? Oh, we broke something. Hold on. Expand Joost. Do. Lowering the Joe opacity now to 60%. We are in the Tony Stark helmet cam phase of the stream. Everybody who's tipped thus far has been making the camera more obnoxious. At this point, it can't take up any more of the screen because we're there. But it will keep getting more transparent. So if you like to make the camera easier to see through, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We are 16 away. That's 10 and 6 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Okay. So, Husky says, I'm a history dork, so the Parthenon sounds cool to me. It is pretty cool. I have enjoyed visiting it many times. It's genuinely impressive. It's a shame the Greeks didn't take better care of theirs. Ours is in great shape. We take really good care of our Parthenon. It's not all ruined like theirs is. Poison to You says, Joe, do you have any concerns about the anti-trans bills being passed in Tennessee? Yes. Regardless of any direct family connection, I feel like they are an assault on liberty in general, and I am not a fan. I was very greatly pleased to see that a federal judge has put a temporary injunction in place against the anti-drag performance bill, because had that gone into effect without actual judicial review, that would have been a huge problem for all sorts of folks in our community here. And so I was greatly, if you're looking for some good news out of Tennessee, you might have missed it, but the last day of March, the day before that anti-drag bill was supposed to go into effect, there's a federal injunction that went into place preventing the state government from implementing it. So that is good to see. It's a waste of everyone's time when the government goes after individuals like this. It's against the spirit of the First Amendment and freedom of expression, and it's just inhumane in general. It's cruel, and I know the cruelty is the point, but it's cruel, it's expensive, because then the state attorney general's office is wasting all this time and manpower defending this nonsense in court. But here's the thing, though, is that even if I said, okay, well, I'm going to move to a different state that has better laws, like, in a lot of ways, I'm just supporting Tennessee's current government at that point, rather than sticking around and fighting it. You'll notice a lot of these laws started getting passed in Tennessee and Texas after a bunch of more left-leaning folks moved out of California and Massachusetts and New York during the pandemic. They're trying to drive voters out before the next major elections. They want people to say, you know what? Wow, Tennessee's really backwards. I'm going to leave. And so that way they can stay in power. And I don't want to help them with that. So yeah, I'm planning to stick around, and you know, we'll see how this goes. And this yeah. Badger Spanner says, just imagine if they used all this manpower and resources on gun control and homelessness. Well, and that's the thing, too, is they're under increased scrutiny since this shooting last week to, you know, actually spend legislative time on gun control instead of wasting everybody's time on unconstitutional nonsense. And it's just... So, yeah. So no, I'm not leaving Tennessee in protest because that would be playing into their hands. That's they want people to go. They want only conservative voters to remain here, and that's not what's going to happen. They've been trying to alienate all sorts of Nashvillians too, with all sorts of laws. They're trying to take over our airport board at the state level. They're trying to take over our sports authority at the state level. They passed a law making our city council illegal and forcing us to form a new city council. So, yeah, no, the state of Tennessee is basically at war with the city of Nashville right now. And it's, like, literally unconstitutional in the Tennessee state constitution for the state to punish individual cities by passing laws. It's called the concept of home rule, where when the Constitution of Tennessee was established, it was believed that folks at the local level were best equipped to make decisions at the local level. And so if the state was like passing laws that only targeted one city, that would be considered punitive, right? And so the state is not allowed to pass laws that only target one city. And what have they been doing? Since they got into this legislative session, they've been passing anti-constitutional at the federal level anti-trans and anti-drag laws, and they've been passing at the state level anti-constitutional laws targeting Nashville's airport, city council, and sports authority. It's complete nonsense. It's a waste of everyone's time and money, and it will be won out in the courts in the long term. But yeah. But yeah, this is one of those things where I understand why some individuals might feel the need to relocate for the immediate safety of their family, but if you can stay and fight either in Texas or in Tennessee or wherever your government is doing something unfair like this, I really hope people do, because that's how we win in the long term. Is like when you think about the phrase being pushed around, that's literally what they're trying to do. The state governments are trying to push people around. They're trying to say, no. If you want to be gay, you better move to one of the safe states like New Hampshire or Vermont. We don't want you voting here in Tennessee or Texas. Go back to Massachusetts or California, right? And once again, people have to make decisions for their own safety, and I understand why they would. But, you know, me making a decision for myself and my family, we're not going to be pushed around. We're not going to be dismissed to some other state. We're going to stay where we are, and we're going to do what we do. And I hope there's enough other people that feel the same way, that I'm not making a mistake here, because you need a critical mass of people to stand up and do that. You know? So, oh, I forgot to put these blocks away. Poison Hughes says, that makes sense. Thank you for explaining. I do what I can. Because the thing, too, is even if you move to a safe state, what's going to happen is the conservatives from the other states are still going to try and get federal power and try to make wherever you go unsafe. They're going to try to make Massachusetts and California and Vermont and whatever less safe. This is what happened with abortion, you know? If you just say we're not like there's a reason that Texas is trying to push the liberal folks who moved there during COVID out before the next presidential election. They don't want Texas to go blue. They don't want to lose that many electoral votes. They don't want to lose their Senate seats. But you know what? They're going to use those Senate seats to bully people in Massachusetts. And I just don't like bullies. Hey, we got a raid rolling in from Ollie Orion Sound. Woo! Ollie! I know this isn't technically a raid with a train because there's no hype trains here, but, you know, I've got this train whistle anyway, so let's go ahead and celebrate Ollie rolling in. Like, if you like musical stuff, here's a 3-string guitar. It's not tuned, so we're gonna put that down because I'm not gonna tune that on stream, and also I don't know any chords and I can't play it. But yeah, Ollie Raiders, if you enjoy weird streams that are somewhat musical in some way, I'm not as good at music or being weird as Ollie, but I do try to be the best Joe Hills I possibly can. I am currently playing on the HermitCraft server. Let's show you all what I'm working on. We are inside of my colossal scale pinball machine. The HermitCraft shopping district is over this way. Oh yeah, you're really experiencing HermitCraft through the eyes of a hermit here. This is my friend Zombie Cleo's base. The HermitCraft shopping district is over here. And then my giant pinball machine, it's going to be called Deep Field, which is themed after space telescopes. So I've got the name Deep Field written out right there. I can duck out of the way for you. But I've actually started doing some pixel art on the side of the machine as well. Back this way. Let's go further out because the pixel art looks better the further away it is. Woo, ducking out of the way again. What? That's from an actual James Webb Space Telescope photo. I've been putting that in pixel by pixel. I didn't use any fancy software to tell me which blocks to use. It was kind of an art project where I'm just looking at the image and zoomed in Photoshop and going like, I don't know, maybe some quartz. I don't know, maybe some bones. Let's see. Our friend Cub Fan's base is out this way. If you're familiar with HermitCraft in general, I'm going to show you some geography here. Here's Total Chaos out this way. So you can see the pinball machine kind of from there as well. I don't have to duck as far from this distance. Our friend Etho lives over here. It's okay. Don't worry about the caps right now. The chat doesn't have to be super readable when 500 people raid. It's okay. Lots of people saying, you're the best, Joe. Very cool. Love your pinball machine. This looks awesome. Thank you for all the kind words. Yep, there's Etho's base. Just over the corner there, over my shoulder. I've also got my candelabras in the room today. If I duck out of the way. Oh, you can't see them at this. I guess I can, yeah. Candelabras back here as well. Okay. Now the camera's way too low. Boop. Turn that down there. Just as a reminder, we are $6 away from the next face camera expansion. So if anybody wants to show the Ollie Raiders how the tipping milestones work, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay. So anyway, yes, we are currently digging out parts of our Deep Field Space Telescope themed pinball machine. What's the other stuff nearby? There's Cub Fans TCG Arena. Oh, let me show you my Sadako axolotl. If you like the film Ringu, I made a Sadako axolotl climbing out of a well/bucket here for my axolotl shop in the shopping district, which you can see better if I turn that way. Boom. Sadakosolotl. It's hard to combine those two words, Sadaxolotl, but I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. It's funny because over the chair you can see the candelabra still, even when I duck out of the way. Okay. So here we go. Back over here. So we have been digging... This whole pinball machine project, this is my season-long project. Once it's complete, it's going to be an Elytra course. I'm still designing the actual play field and layout. But the idea of the Elytra course, I'm thinking the entrance would be the coin slot. And then from the coin slot, you'd proceed up here to the plunger. And then fly up the shooter lane for the Elytra course. And then you'd cut across here. Go around partially, then down through some pop bumpers. Hit the in lane, back up off the flipper. Hit some sort of loop or something here. It's going to bring you back down, and eventually you'll go down the drain. I'm out of rockets. After you go down the drain, you'd be inside the pinball machine dealing with all the components here. We need to get more rockets. That's... somewhere up. Oh, we might be out of rockets. Well, it's going to be hard to show off how the electric course would work, but the idea is eventually you would fly up through some conduit holes into the back box up there. Past behind the translate. Matthew Lavis, tips 26. Hey. Oh, wow. I thought I was 6 away from the next face camera expansion. I was 16. Either way, that gets us 10 past. Sorry about that inaccuracy there. Here we go. Expand Jost. We're entering the next face camera expansion milestone phase here, which we call T. Joe Eckhillsberg, lowering the Joe Pasty now to 50%. You're really going to see HermitCraft through the eyes of an actual hermit now. Woo! I'm also a little bit annoyed that I'm out of rockets, because I was not paying close attention earlier. I really thought I had more. But we have burned a lot of rockets lately. Okay. Yeah, we've got 10 diamonds. A box of rockets is 11 diamonds, y'all. This is deeply unfortunate. So I think we might have to go chug some fireproof potions and go mining in order to buy more rockets. Luckily, you don't really need to use rockets when you're underground. We do need to use torches. So let's grab some torches. Let's grab... yeah. Another pickaxe, maybe, just in case. Fish and 3, yeah. Okay, so down we go. Do. Down we go. I forgot. I think I left my fireproof potions actually up here. Let me grab those. Because if we go all the way down and then I don't have fireproof potions, I will burn to death in the lava. There's a lot of lava underground. We're down. Ooh, 11 fireworks rockets. Okay, that's enough to get us to the rocket shop once we get one more diamond. We need to just get one diamond. I believe in me. Hope you do too. We'll chug the potion once we get down there. But you know what? We'll get down there quicker if we throw an ender pearl. Though, real quick. Okay. Well, that could have gone better. Just eating. I mean, we had the totem. So. Okay. Little Peter Rabbit says, this is one of the few times I've seen the Jost at 50%. You're usually more transparent when I tune in. Yeah, it depends on when you tune in, really. How transparent the camera's going to be. Hey, speaking of which, we got another 10 rolling in from Gibran. Thank you, Gibran. That's going to get us evenly to the next expansion milestone. So here we go. It's time to expand Jost. Lowering the Joe Pasty now to 42%. Put my eye right there where it's nice and comfy. Okay. So we're just going to go to the end of the mine and start mining. We just need one diamond and we'll have enough. Gibran says that's closer than how most people pronounce it. If you want to share how to pronounce it phonetically, I can try harder. Okay. It's a long walk to the end of the mines. Okay. It's been a long walk. Getting from there to here. Okay, you know what? It looks like we actually dead-ended this one out when we hit that lava there. But we can fireproof potion that. Let's not go all the way to the end of the mines. Let's just go this way. Save ourselves some walking. We only need 1 diamond, so shouldn't take too long, hopefully. This is why I'm so good at mining. I get exactly the number of diamonds I need, and then I walk away. What I really should do is stockpile them, but then I would just waste them if I had a bunch of diamonds sitting around. So, here we go, grabbing some deep slate, too. The elytra health is fairly low. Well, we're not really flying around too much today. Mining lots of blocks. Mining lots of blocks. So, oh yeah, also, I need to refresh Twitter because there is actually, like, stuff happening in town here today that I'm trying to keep an eye on. High schools all over the city had a big walkout today, 1 week to the minute after the shooting at Coventry School. And some of the students are walking from miles away. So it's hard to tell how many people are going to be participating, since the Capitol building is really close to Hume Fogg and MLK schools, but is like miles away from the other ones. Okay. Dang it. I was really hoping we'd find some diamonds before we found lava. That does not seem to be the case here. Dang it. How much lava are we looking at here exactly? That looks like a lot of lava. We've got 6 minutes of fire resistance. Okay, that's a bad idea. There's water directly above us. A lot of lava. Yep, apparently. Okay, well, now we know. Oh, it's Lavis, like Davis. Oh. And Gibran. Okay. Well, thank you for the clarifications. I've been saying your name wrong for like 3 years, Matthew Lavis. I'm really sorry. Because I've been thanking you after Patreon at the end of episodes because you're one of the Patreon patrons too. Lavis. Like Matthew Lavis Beacon teaches typing. I'm going to remember that now. That's not just me making fun of your name. That's like a pneumatic device. Okay, what if we go this way a little bit? And then we turn here. But yeah, so looking at the Vanderbilt students just reached the Legislative Plaza as well, and the crowd has now doubled in size. So I'm going to be retweeting that and retweeting that. Okay. Yep, 3 years of mispronouncing M. Lavis's name. Sorry. M. Lavis says, no big deal. Well, you know, I like to get things right when I can. So it's weird because there's this mod that, the lambda dynamic lighting mod or whatever. I can't tell when if I have the lights in my offhand, I can't tell how far away I am from the previous one. I usually would just judge it by the light level, but that's obviously not going to work in this context. 4 years of Devoncrates. No, but Devoncrates says there's no correct way or wrong way to pronounce Devoncrates. Asteri says, caving is better for finding diamonds than strip mining. Well, that's why I'm branch mining instead of strip mining. Badger says, true, but they use literal crotties in their avatars. Well, that's why I recognize them as such. Hack the Gibson says, wait, is it not crotties as in box? Yeah, it's the same crotties. Like, I've got 3 crotties of oranges. How are there no diamonds yet? This is taking way longer than it should. Like... Oh, whoops. The diamonds are hiding from me because they're scared of my intensity. My diamond-like stare is, what do you call it? Intimidating. But yeah, really. No diamonds. What is that? We're at, like, the Y level. Starting to hear lava, so I think we're going to have to cut over again soon. How close are we to the end of the line? Yeah, getting pretty close. Yeah, there's a separate rally for younger students after school lets out, because they apparently don't want a bunch of elementary school students marching on the Capitol at 10 a.m. Which is shockingly proactive. I was not expecting to get an email from the elementary school principal saying, hey, there's a rally at 4 o'clock. If you want to bring your kid, don't have them walk out of school at 10 a.m. It's like an elementary school principal talking about like sending a link to a thing to take your kid to a march on the state capitol. Things have really shifted here in Tennessee. Things have really shifted. Okay. Oh. Okay. Darby Bristy says, the whole point of the walkout is to disrupt for attention to an issue. A rally at 4 is not going to have the same effect. Yeah, I appreciate that. But from a practical standpoint, I like that my child isn't being excluded entirely for being too young. The fact that they're creating an alternative opportunity for young children is interesting and probably a net positive. Dory Bristy says it's like saying strike on your off work hours. Well, once again though, so at 4 p.m. like, so they gavel back in at 5 in the state house gavels back in at 5 after a break. So the idea is if the elementary school students show up at 4, they can actually be at the Capitol when they gavel back in at 5. So that is like during the legislative sessions work hours. Right. Didn't I stash some diamonds in the Axolotl shop so I could record finding them later? I already recovered those. Seriously, though, literally not a single diamond? Gold. I mean, gold is always nice to have for Impulse's needs. He's always needing extra raw gold, but... And we always need gravel. You know, it's so dark in here. I'm going to turn down the ring light a little bit so I can see better. Much better. Okay. Hey, diamonds! It was the ring light that was scaring the diamonds away. Clearly the diamonds just... They're more comfortable in the dark. They were scurrying off, but turning off the ring light was the solution. Fantastic. Okay, we got 6 diamonds plus the 10 we have. That's enough to go buy rockets. Woo! Let's go, rockets. Let's go. Okay, why is this not working right? Nashville scene has some pictures as well. So here's the Nashville scenes, some photos from the rally there. Okay. Yeah, oh, dang it. This is going to be a problem, isn't it? Yeah, this lighting mod is just going to wreck me. I'm going to have all these unlit tunnels because I can't tell how far it's been since my last torch. And then creepers are going to wander out. No good. Okay. What am I getting more messages about? Okay, that's not urgent. Okay. Is Tommy still here? It looks like Blackwater and SCP both confirmed their parade dates. What? Did I run directly? I ran directly under some diamonds before. We only needed 1 diamond this whole time, and I ran directly under it. Are there other diamonds up in here? How did I miss that? I understand how y'all didn't see it because my face was in the way. That part's on me, but how did I not see that diamond in the ceiling? That I ran directly under. Okay, it's fine. This is part of the mines gets a little bit catacombical. Okay, so we're going to leave our remaining potion of fire resistance there. Let's take these buckets of lava back up with us in case we need them. We can leave those extra spare torches here. Take the extra bottles and the shovel back, though. Ooh, I left a totem in there just in case. That was smart of me. I could be remotely clever at times. Planning ahead. Yay. Looking up is hard, says Fossil. Yeah, apparently. Okay. So we're coming up on lunchtime pretty hard here. And I'm going to be going live in a little bit to get ready to go. I'm going to be going live in a little bit to get ready for HHH. This has been me working on my own stuff part of the stream. But let's go to the rocket shop at least and get the rockets before we wrap up. In the meantime, though, I will do final call for tips. We are 20 even away from the next phase camera expansion milestone. We'll hang out for a few more minutes while I go buy those rockets and get organized. Then we'll be streaming, working on Decked Out later. M. Lavis says, are you thinking of any changes to your TCG deck? Not right now. That's not currently a priority for me. I'm, like, behind on so many other things. Okay, so we're going to take these 7 diamonds here. As well as we're going to get the ones out of our shulker box. Ender chest. So the camera isn't quite as obnoxious with a light background. See? It's just the problem of being underground. Okay. So we have 17 diamonds here. And this says bulk rockets, 11 diamonds. So then rocket payment, we're going to put in, there's 9 and 11. And we can put the 6 back that we didn't use. Woo! Probably need to go repair our elytras and shovels, actually, as well. Before we wrap up. Let's go drop off these surplus materials and grab some extra tools that need to be repaired. While we do that, we can check, see what else is happening around Legislative Plaza here in Nashville. Big protests today. I am hoping to head downtown later myself once my kid is out of school, but for right now, I'm just monitoring it on Twitter. Belmont University students have joined up as well. Wow. Big crowd in Legislative Plaza today. Okay, let's drop this box off because this box is nonsense. Yeah. Drop these off as well. We don't need those right now. The gold will turn into gold blocks, and we'll put those in here. Okay. Cool. So for right now, the tools-wise, we need to fix that one. Everything else looks like it's generally okay. So we've got a few tools to repair. Got a couple of elytras to repair. Any of my other tools need to repair. These ones don't have mending on them anyway. We want this fortune shovel when we go to decked out. We want this one when we go to decked out too. Or as well. Okay. Melissa says, "Bro, I can see your eye." Good eye, Melissa. Good eye. That's how they say good day, Melissa, in Australia. I've been taking lessons with Pearlescent Moon, who's a HermitCraft player on HermitCraft here. Although some folks may recognize Pearl from Empire Season 1. Since we got the Empire's crew in the house tonight. Thanks to Ollie Orion Sound once more for that raid. Wow, our FPS. The Bobby mod that lets you see stuff long distances away does not work well in the Nether, and I'm not sure why. It like really kills your FPS in the Nether, which luckily I don't record in the Nether very often. I'm happening to walk through here as part of this stream, but I don't really record here too often. Okay, so go repair our stuff while we wait for those final tips to roll in. Okay, if you have enjoyed the stream, I do hope you consider tipping. But if you are not in a place to tip or choose not to, no worries. The folks who are supporting the show are doing so everybody else can enjoy it for free. Not just for free monetarily, but also guilt-free. I stayed sane watching and reading free stuff on the internet when I was in school and paying off my educational debt. And I am incredibly grateful to the folks who support this show and let me make it free for everybody to watch who might find themselves in a similar situation today. So, here we go. Let's repair those elytras. Put this in our offhand here. And like I said, I'll be back in about an hour and a half or so for working on some decked out. And that'll be kind of a shorter stream. Okay, I realize that we have not swapped something broken to our offhand. Gonna need to do that so we can keep repairing stuff. Beelza says, I can't see anything with your head in the way. Well, don't worry, the camera gets bigger and slightly more transparent when people tip. We are currently 20 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. So, who knows? Maybe the camera will get more transparent. But obviously you can see my head, so, I mean, you can see something. You're really experiencing HermitCraft through the eye of a hermit. Got that visual element to the stream. Eyes are the window to the soul. Rights Fossils 160 in the Twitch chat. We got 3 chats here. We got the Discord chat for the Patreon patrons. We got the Twitch chat. And we got the YouTube chat. Thank you to everybody who's been hanging out with us today. Whew. Alrighty. Stretch it out a little bit. Oh, boy. Stretching out. Turns out it uses a lot of experience to fix your stuff when you've got a lot of broken stuff. So we're all learning something here. I think I want to put that pork chop in there so we can eat that. Repairing our picks. Repairing our shovels. Ooh, that shovel also needs to be repaired. So many shovels to repair. That's okay. We're going to be shoveling snow later like crazy. La da 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 da. Do 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 do. La da 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 do do do. Bum 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 ba da da. La da 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 da. Okay, almost done. Just gotta repair this one last axe. Anything else? I guess technically the trident needs to be repaired too, just slightly. Marginal trident repair. But the thing is, if I didn't fix it, it could break on me at a really inopportune time. So, in the meantime, let's see who else is out there streaming so I can go get my lunch. Wow, it is pretty slow out there. A lot of people not streaming, it looks like. Well, it looks like Kendersite is about to be playing some Minecraft. Has some sort of AFK word game up, though. We'll be playing Minecraft soon, in theory. I don't like raiding people when they're AFK, though. So I don't know when he's going to be back. Tab Twice is making bread. Why don't we go ahead and raid Tab Twice? Tab Twice does a lot of Minecraft. Isn't doing Minecraft right now. But the bread has squares in it, so hopefully that's not too unfamiliar to you. So we're going to go /raid Tab Twice. We'll raid Kendersite another day. We raid him all the time. When you get over there, our raid message is, howdy, y'all. Joe Hill's raid here. Anyway, thank y'all so much for hanging out. Until next time, y'all, this has been Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Do-do-do-do. Stop streaming.